Request to all the participants and audience over here, please keep your phone on silent so that there is no disturbance. Thank you. Martin Luther King said, I quote, "An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity," unquote. Honorable dignitaries, learned delegates, respected teachers, students, and all the participants, a very good morning to one and all. Today, we all have gathered here to celebrate the existing diversity in society and discuss, brainstorm, and share ideas on how to advance towards inclusivity and sustainability. I, Shazia Hasnain, former scholar, Department of Education, University of Calcutta, feel privileged to welcome all of you on behalf of the organizing committee of this two-day international conference on Sustainability, Global Diversity, Inclusion and Culture, Interdisciplinary Perspectives, funded by Indian Council of Social Science Research, New Delhi, organized by the Department of Education, University of Calcutta, in collaboration with National Library of India, Ministry of Human Resource Development. A very warm welcome once again to the highly anticipated international conference where brilliant minds from around the world gather to exchange ideas, inspire each other, and shape the future. দুদিনের আন্তর্জাতিক সম্মেলনে আপনাদের সবাইকে आंतरिक स्वागत। इस 2 दिवसीय अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन में आप सभी का स्वागत है। We are honored to have you all join us today as we embark on this incredible journey of knowledge, innovation, and collaboration, and we really hope that you will have an enriching experience in these 2 days. We will begin our program with the welcome address by Professor Debatosh Guha, Dean, Faculty Council for Postgraduate Studies in Engineering and Technology, Professor, Department of Radio Physics and Electronics. Sir.
Namaskar, Suprabhat, very good morning to all of you. I'm seeing very distinguished people assembled here from different parts of the globe. So let me address first US Consul General Melinda Pavic, Professor Steen, Director of National Library, Professor Nori Kwai from University of Hiroshima, Professor Ratna Ghosh from McGill University, Montreal, Canada. Most important, the hostess of this conference, organizer, Professor Santosh Yadav. Dear friends, colleagues, delegates and students from different parts, from the city, from India, I extend my hearty welcome to you all on behalf of my university, University of Calcutta, on behalf of the organizers and on my personal behalf. The conference topic perfectly matches with the city, which is the icon of diversity, harmony, and inclusiveness. I arrived here before many of you could make it. And I was feeling the vibration amongst the organizers, and some of you already arrived probably that time, partially complete, partially incomplete. There are a few disappointments on behalf of the organizers because the arrangement was not up to the mark as they expected that time. But don't worry, that is not that important. Important is how effectively we deliberate, discuss, mingle and interact our views. My time is 5 minutes. By profession, I'm a teacher, so 5 minutes is nothing for me. By training, I'm an engineer. I just share some experience in the same line because I'm not an expert as you are deliberating in this conference. Education is education. The largest society in this world, you might have heard the name IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, having more than 500,000 of members, headquarters being in New Jersey, US. We care very much our profession and address equality, equity, diversity. And personally, I have been involved in this. Our focal areas are African countries, South Asian countries, my neighboring countries like Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Definitely you understand, but I did not know about that. There is very simple political boundary, in some places geographical boundary, makes a huge difference between these two. Can you believe the small country Tunisia in the north of Africa? Just 1 hour flight to Europe. You cannot compare the situation, the facilities, the social structures of these two different regions. Come to Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. So my experience working with this is closely interact with them. And if you really want to help them in terms of their profession, education, to find out the quality people, they do have the taste, but they're subdued by various reasons. To find out and let them grow. Otherwise, it will remain like this. So that is the key, one of the keys to keep them sustainable and grow in the future. I believe you will enjoy your stay, your days in Kolkata. Kolkata is beautiful this time, and moreover, I know many of you are sitting over here, you are not still out of your jet lag, but I believe you will be able, because Kolkata, the hostess definitely will treat you with wonderful food and special sweets, mishti doi, rasgulla, etc. Thank you.
Sir, now we will proceed with the felicitation of the dignitaries and esteemed guests that we have among us. I request Professor Santoshi Haldar, Department of Education, University of Calcutta, to kindly felicitate the Chief Patron of the program, Professor Ajay Pratap Singh, Director General, National Library, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. University of Calcutta, to kindly felicitate the chief guest of this conference, Melinda Pavek Ma'am, US Consulate General, Kolkata. Research Scholar, Department of Education, to kindly felicitate Professor Devatosh Kumar, Dean, Faculty Council for Postgraduate Studies in Engineering and Technology, Professor, Department of Radio Physics and Electronics. Keeping up the tradition that is a part of our culture, we would now have the lighting the lamp ceremony, which signifies the light of knowledge and wisdom, dispelling darkness and igniting thought and enlightenment. As Gautam Buddha said very rightly, if you light a lamp for somebody, it will also brighten your path. It is my ardent request to all the dignitaries to please do the honors. The inaugural address, which will be given by Dr. Professor Ajay Pratap Singh, Director General, National Library, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. I request Sir to please address us.
Thank you, Sazia ji. Honorable Madam Melinda Pavek, US Consul General, Professor Narimune Kawai from Hiroshima University, Japan. Professor Ratna Ghosh, McGill University, Canada. Professor Devatosh Guha, Calcutta University. And esteemed participants, guests over here. I can recall when Professor Santoshi Hulder approached my office 4 months back and conveyed her desire to organize such a conference with National Library. The theme, sustainability, global diversity, inclusion and culture, was what I felt at that time very attractive and very close to the person who is doing advocacy for public libraries for the country. This was one aspect when we accepted her proposal. And the second aspect, her zeal to organize an event where people from different parts of the world and from various disciplines may come together and have discussion for getting new collaborations. So this was a sort of mutual interest and the efforts of Professor Hulder. Being a part of National Library of India, our basic objective is to connect people, is to promote society, each and every individual of society to come forward and become a part of developed world. In India, presently library profession is not in dormant stage. We are proactive in inviting people to connect with us. I was observing the sub-themes which are focusing on excluded community, diversities across culture, inclusive practices and strategies for inclusive community, inclusive assistive and alternative technologies, sensitization and awareness drive. Dear friends, I would like to inform you that all of these things are the part of the motive of each and every library. We are the part of the system where we try to connect people for making them a part of the developed society. Recently, Government of India has taken many initiatives for promoting people. I think most of you are well aware that our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, want to make India as Vishwa Guru. It's a very common statement, but you must be aware that behind this particular statement, many work is going on, including in the field of librarianship. I am happy to inform you that in couple of years only, you will see that each and every village of the country will have one library. The work is already started since the declaration of the current budget during February 2023. Presently, this development work is going on very expeditious manner. For including each and every part of the society, every person, even if he is especially able, we are focusing the requirement of such people in a special manner. Trying to include innovative technologies and to furnish these new upcoming village libraries with such type of extraordinary support. As Madam was saying that participants are here from 11 countries and different parts of the country. I hope your stay in National Library will give you an extraordinary gesture of good hospitality and support. I wish that as Madam Holder is expecting that new agreements, collaborations and networking based initiations will be done after brainstorming discussions during various sessions of this conference. I hope that the organizers will achieve these issues in qualitative manner. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request our guest of honor, Melinda Pavik ma'am, US Consulate General, Kolkata, India, to kindly address us.
Good morning and namaskar, everyone. It's such an honor to be here today and to talk about such important topics. I'm going to start my speech by speaking a little bit about my own personal history, because I do think it is relevant to the topic of diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility, and sustainability. Now, I'm a diplomat, and I've been a diplomat for almost 20 years. And in that time, I have served in Nepal, Jamaica, Iraq, Pakistan, Brunei, Japan, and now India. I've also lived in 5 US states, as well as working in Ireland and also Japan as a teacher. So I've seen a lot of things. I've experienced a lot of cultures. And I could talk about how I've seen and experienced those cultures and diversity, but I'm actually going to just go back a little bit and talk about, in some ways, how unusual it is that I've had the opportunity to do this career. You see, I am a first-generation learner in the United States. My parents are both high school graduates. My father started out as a truck driver, and he and my mother decided to take a risk, and they became entrepreneurs, and they started a trucking company. And they worked very, very hard in that trucking company, and it started when I was 7 years old. And so when I was 7 years old, I had my first part-time job, and it was working for my parents in that trucking company. And so I learned how to give my father every tool that he needed as he repaired that truck. And I learned how to help my mother as she was figuring out the billing and all of the office work that went along with that company. And it was by earning 25 cents an hour from my parents that I was able to pay to go to college. And I got the impetus to think about going to college, not from them. They were very supportive of education, but from the fact that they took me to the library regularly. And I'm so happy to hear about the library initiatives, because it was by going to the library and reading that I learned about the world that was far beyond Minnesota, where I grew up. Now, Minnesota is a wonderful place in many ways, but it is very cold sometimes of the year, including now, which means that as I look at all of you bundled up in your clothes because it's cold, and here I am in short sleeves and bare legs, and I think it's really comfortable. It just recognizes, it reinforces in me the diversity of our own lived experiences, whether it is growing up in the cold and having to wear winter clothes to and from school, whether it is the first time you step inside a library and figure out all of the wonders that you can find there, whether it's being a first-generation learner, which some of you in the audience may be, or if it is entering a stately institution like the US State Department that for a long time described its employees as pale, male, and Yale, because those were the people that they recruited. While I may be pale, I am neither male nor Yale, but I went to a wonderful liberal arts school, Augustana College in Rock Island, Illinois, where I studied political science, economics, and Asian studies. And it was the professors there that taught me how to travel. They taught me they helped me get my first passport. They took me on my first international trip. They taught those experiences. I visited my first embassy overseas on a trip with my university. And so again, these are opportunities that came to me because I had opportunities where I put myself out there. I took a risk. I decided to do something that was a little bit different. And it has paid off in the wonderful honor of being the US Consul General here in East and Northeast India, responsible for 11 states, including the 8 states of the Northeast, as well as Bihar, Jharkhand, and West Bengal. Now, if you ask most Americans to talk about India, I think they have very specific ideas. But many of those ideas do not include the amazing diversity that is inherent. Not only diversity in language, but also in culture, in religion, in activities, in motivation, in interests. And so I think that's one of the things that we need to think about as we are putting our ideas together, is we have to embrace not only the ideas of those people that are educated and privileged, we must also embrace the ideas of everyone we share our world with. And it is by embracing those ideas that we are able to create a world that is good for everyone. Create a world that allows someone who is going to go from being a first-generation learner to the Consul General of the United States in a city where we have had Consul Generals for 230 years. I think that is an amazing honor, and so that's why I just wanted to put that out there. Not because I think that I am all that in a slice of bread, but because I think I represent what you should be thinking about when you work with the students and the people in your communities, is that anyone has the capacity to be anything, and it is not a competition against other people. It is a competition with yourself. How do we build the confidence in people that they will take risks, that they will move themselves forward, that they will have the mindset that they can be or do anything? So let me come back a little bit, though, to the concept of sustainability. Sustainability is something in the US government that we often use when we refer to climate change. And there are many, many things that the US and India are doing to combat climate change. And I could speak about many different things related to renewable energy and carbon capture utilization and solar energy and all of those things. But the most important part of sustainability is that by changing the way we do things, we sustain our ability to live on this planet. And that is a baseline. That is something that has to happen. And so it's on top of that then that we look at how do the changes we need to make change the way people learn, the way people travel, the way people grow their their careers, the way our globe and the way we interact has to change. And there we've got a lot of things that we have to think about, and we need everyone's insights in order to make that possible. We need to talk to the very, very young and the very, very old, because there are an increasing number of old people, and I count myself among them, unfortunately, at some days, that we all need to be able to live in this world and this environment. And so how do we change our physical infrastructure in order to make sure that we can all continue to contribute and grow? I've visited a number of universities over the course of the last couple of years that I've been here, and I'm amazed at how many of the professors that are very important in their fields are either at or above the retirement age. And they have an amazing wealth of knowledge that needs to be continued to build up, needs to continue to be built upon, so that the next generations here in India and around the world can continue to advance. Now, there's a couple of things that the consulate provides here in Kolkata that I would like to emphasize that I hope you'll engage with. First of all, it's been referred to a couple of times, but the Fulbright program. It's a wonderful US government program that allows scholars in India to apply to do research and other programs in the United States. It is also an opportunity for US researchers to apply to come to India and teach, or do research. So whatever realm you are in, please do consider applying to the Fulbright program. It's a very important highway between our two nations. The second, of course, is that we have the U.S.-India Education Foundation, UCF, at the American Center. And our advisors there can advise you on everything related to studying in the United States and also to the Fulbright program. So I hope that if you are considering any kind of studies in the United States, that you will reach out to the UCF team in order to get accurate knowledge, accurate information that you don't have to pay for. It's completely free, provided by the US government. And then the third thing that I want to emphasize is the library, the American Library at the American Center. It is a very inexpensive membership. It gives you access to millions of online and physical books, and it allows you to interact with our programs as well. And so I think that's a way for you to participate in some of these broadening conversations if you're based here in Kolkata, and we also do virtual programming. And then finally, I want to emphasize the Kolkata International Book Fair, which starts this evening. And so we have a pavilion that I would encourage you all to check out the schedule, because the schedule and our events are very, very related to today's theme of sustainability, diversity, and inclusion. We are, for example, hosting a panel discussion on women's leaders investing in our planet. Our UCF team is facilitating a conversation on gender equality and climate change. Other sessions include events with college representatives and Fulbright scholars, radio interviews, and a talk on climate anxiety in youth. We're having a different program every day, so please do stop by the pavilion to see something new. And as a part of our inclusion activities this year, we will have live sign language interpretation for several of our events, so that we can also be inclusive with the deaf community. So I want to end my talk by emphasizing that taking our rights as global citizens seriously also comes with responsibility to make decisions and take actions that align with increasing sustainability, respecting global diversity and inclusion, and protecting our culture. As President Biden says, we need to demand urgency and accountability from everyone, everywhere, every day. So please don't wait for others to give you permission to act. You are already more powerful than you imagine. I challenge you to take up the important task of leading the next generation and all of our generations into the future. And seeing this audience today and hearing the topics that have already been discussed gives me great hope for the coming 2 days and for the future. And in the future, I believe that we will see it will be more equitable, more ecological, and more compassionate for everyone, because that's what we want to create. Thank you so much for being here today.